Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. And in this short video, I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown on my current thoughts on Moderna and Inovio stocks, considering they both had pretty exceptional trading days today. It's also a Monday, a brand new start to a new trading week, so that's very bullish in my mind. Traditionally, when a stock with bullish momentum already behind it has a strong start to the week, that is very promising for the week ahead. Okay, so that's what inspired me to make this video specifically. So yeah, I just want to break down what I'm seeing on the charts. Moderna, as we're looking at right here, I want to break down the two scenarios that I see playing out this week. So we'll go over that, and then, yeah, we'll just look at Inovio second. I don't have anything drawn up on here. I'm sorry, I just got rid of my face. Let's bring myself back up. Okay. It's kind of nice not having my face there, right? You don't got to look at me. But, so yeah, sorry. Got to float that on top. All right, there we go. You're stuck with me now. Okay, so, yeah, we'll look at Moderna first. We'll look at Inovio after. Like I said, I don't have anything drawn up because honestly don't feel like it's worth drawing anything up on Inovio right now. That is because Inovio, with what I'm seeing right now, if Moderna plays out the scenario where it does bubble up and it begins to go parabolic off of FOMO trading, I think Inovio will just follow suit and disregard a lot of the technicals concerned. That goes for both of these stocks. So we'll just get straight into it right now. We're looking at Moderna. You see I have these lines drawn up. I've had these lines drawn up for a while now. I actually moved this top line of support, which is trailing the bottoms on Moderna, up to kind of this line. And I know these are like previous little tops that it's had before, but it's falling on this line of support. So it's this top line of resistance combined with this current bottom line of support that I feel like is more applicable now, because it has so much bullish momentum on it behind it, okay? So yeah, we see this top line of resistance. It did, as we zoom in today, it did break above that. So yeah, hourly candles right here, it broke above it in an hourly candle. It was kind of just dancing below it just because, again, a lot of traders are in this now. There's a lot of volume on the stock now. As we can see here, there's significantly more volume today than there's been over the past week. So volume's good. There's a lot of green bars you see there, so that's very promising. So there's a lot of volume, obviously seen in the charts because there was so much green. There was very little. There's only a single hourly red close today, so that's very bullish as well. And it did close above this top line of resistance, okay? So that's very bullish. Which brings us to scenario one, which is the more likely scenario in my mind. Always remember, you guys, I know we've been on a hot streak with Moderna. We did call it in a sense, but I've been wrong many times in my life, okay? And I'm happy to admit that. That's just part of this game. That is a part of what you sign up for if you want to be a trader or investor in the markets. So always keep that in mind. This is not financial or investment advice. I could very well be wrong on this. I'm just letting you guys know what I'm seeing personally and what I'm acting on, okay? So know that my money is on what I am saying right now, okay? So Moderna broke out of this top line of resistance, which definitely proves the theory that I've been talking about over the past few weeks now, that this is going to become a bubble. This is the second. So, and you know how I talk about the two waves, right? So it truly just kicked off the second wave of the two-wave theory that I have, that I kind of just formulated over these past couple weeks, to be honest, just looking at these bubbly charts, okay? So it had one, again, it capitulated a little bit, stagnated for a little bit, and then it just shot up again, which is so bullish in my mind, because this is where the FOMO is going to hit a lot of investors, okay? So it proved itself. It has been rallying for the past month now, as you guys know. It's been performing very well, but it had this very parabolic movement, okay? And then it capitulated a little bit, it flattened out, corrected. But now that it started this second one and even broken out of this top line of resistance, I think personally that this is when a lot of FOMO is going to kick in. People are going to realize that, oh shit, this is going a second time. This is a warranted move. It's not just a one-time thing. It doesn't just go up and it's not going to come back down. And this is when a lot of people are going to start to pile in, again, in my opinion. So that in the case that it does continue to just bubble and go parabolic over the course of this week, I will completely almost disregard this top trend line, just because it'll come into play just because it is such a strong trend line in terms of how day traders and swing traders are going to be trading it. But if again, if that FOMO from the retail investor side really kicks in, a lot of people hop on board this. Again, also considering it's a fairly low market cap, it won't take a lot of capital to get this thing moving. I can definitely see this easily just smoking this top line of support, which hasn't smoked it, but it's already broken out of it. I can see this again going parabolic almost to at least $100. Keep in mind that there will be ups and downs. Nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down, as I always say. It is pretty obvious, but always just keep that in mind. Nothing goes straight up, nothing goes straight down. But I think there will be a clear shot to $100 now that this top line of resistance is broken. Once it hits $100, I would be very surprised if it doesn't come back down and have a significant correction, just because that's such a solid, even psychological number. So always remember that too, you guys. Psychological numbers, even like 70, 80, like any round number is a strong psychological barrier a lot of the time, especially 100. When you get to that territory, I do definitely expect to see a correction around $100. But if it breaks above $100 and closes, closes a day beyond $100, I see like the sky at $200 at that point. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The second scenario I see playing out if we don't bubble up is if so you see here again, this top line of support, it's broken. So I don't see this one playing out. I do see it personally becoming more bubbly, but if the traders kind of take over, I can see it following this same trend line. So we have this previous high, right? If it does choose to come back down, this previous high at about $55, give or take, a few cents, whatever. Previous high at $55 does fall in line with this upward trend line that follows some of these lines of both support, previous resistance, and then current support right here. It falls perfectly in line on the 20. When's that correlate? When's that cross? On the 22nd of May is when this crosses. But again, just kind of generally going off this area. I don't follow TA to a T. I think TA comes very secondary to fundamentals, and but that all said, if this does choose to have a correction and come down over the next couple days, which always remember, you guys, is a possible scenario. Don't just think this thing's going to the moon, even though I do. It could very well correct, so keep that in mind as well. Don't always put all your chips into one stock. Keep in mind this could correct, and if it does, I think it'll come down to the $55 region prior to blasting off again. Okay, because again, I'm convinced myself, and again, my money is on the fact that this thing will go parabolic, just because it's always a second wave. Like, if you guys thought this was a strong first wave, all the charts we've looked at, all the bubbly charts, the crypto, the weed, the cannabis bubbles, you always have this what seems like a very significant move up, and then again this capitulation, this correction move that goes sideways for a little bit, and then once this second wave starts, it comes back. It's initiated with so much more strength than this initial one. Okay, so again, I wouldn't be surprised if we did start this FOMO rally, this parabolic rally, which is where things just go straight up to the moon. If we started that today, so keep an eye out for that. Again, proceed with caution, because this is now a very highly volatile. The trader, again, more and more traders are going to come into this as the stock price goes up and there's more volatility and more volume in this. So keep that in mind, you guys. Proceed with caution as always. But again, these are just my thoughts. Okay, so that kind of closed out Moderna and Inovio. As I said, we'll come back because I want to reference previous bubbles, okay? Because I am convinced that's what's going to happen. All right, so previous bubbles, crypto, cannabis. So Moderna is the kingpin of this new biotech sector, right? Of this vaccine, COVID crisis biotech sector, okay? So they're the kingpin, they're the Bitcoin, they're the Tilray in terms of crypto and canopy. There's always a top player, okay? But there's always a lot of other correlated players involved in the same sector that even if they're not doing so hot, they will do well. So when these bubbles happen, FOMO really kicks in, and then people see Moderna going up. They're like, what's another vaccine company that I could get in on? Oh, Inovio is way cheaper than Moderna right now. They'll probably do well, and then it'll lead just kind of a lot of uneducated buyers who do FOMO into the sector as a whole to just kind of bleed off into those other companies. Okay, so Inovio, as I said prior, I'm far more bullish on Moderna, especially given their recent quarterly announcements. And the progress they're making. I feel like they have a lot more tangible, realistic news, and a lot more again, just realistic progress that they're making that leads me to believe that they will probably come out on top. The market is deeming them as so. But on top of everything, I think Moderna is going to be the key player. But that said, I do still hold a small Inovio position. I think there is still room for growth in Inovio. But I don't know how warranted it will be. I think it will just kind of follow in the tracks of Moderna. Okay. So that is also, you guys, CRISPR and Editas, if you guys are familiar with those are very revolutionary companies in my mind. This kind of fits into the plug. So this shows that the whole biotech sector is doing well. And I have pretty small but honestly meaningful positions in both CRISPR and Editas, which are in the portfolio course if you guys want to check that out. Those as well as kind of like Riot and some of the other stocks I've been talking about, considered high risk, but revolutionary in my mind. Those are some of the players that just sit in my portfolio for a while. And again, with Moderna and Inovio doing well, it's putting a lot of attention on the biotech sector as a whole. Health is a very huge topic right now. So yeah, I think the biotech sector as a whole, not only the COVID vaccine, COVID relief biotech sector will do well. I think almost all biotech will do well. If it is warranted, I do think CRISPR and Editas are both doing very, very real, very tangible things and will provide a very useful a useful application in the future. But yeah, that like I've held these for forever. They are a small part of my portfolio. So if you guys want to check out the portfolio course, it's down in the description. I'd appreciate it if you did that. We'll close it out there. I'd also appreciate it if you guys gave the video a like, if you gain any value from it. I always appreciate it if you subscribed if you're not already and want to catch more content like this. Very exciting times, you guys, right now. With Moderna and Inovio, Bitcoin, I don't know how many of you guys are actually interested in that, but they just had the halving. That's huge. So you guys stay tuned. There's a lot of exciting things happening in this space right now. I like to think of myself, I haven't said this before, I'll probably make a video on this in the future, but I like to think of myself as kind of like a revolutionary asset investor, okay? I'm not bound to one thing. I'm not super emotional about any individual sector. I'm just super stoked about a lot of the upcoming really bleeding edge technology, really revolutionary sectors, okay? The ones that'll really change the world and be around and be huge players like 10, 20, 50 years from now, okay? Those are what's exciting to me. I know that's not for everybody, but me personally, that's what's exciting. And the beauty of that is a lot of time, if you're early, you see huge returns, okay? So stay tuned. Stay tuned if you want to catch more revolutionary content like that, or just me, little me talking about revolutionary stocks and stuff like that. So again, always appreciate you guys watching. Please drop a comment below if you have any questions for me or whatever. Want to talk about anything at all, just about how exciting this current space is. Always love talking shop with you guys. So again, feel free to drop a comment. Hit me up on Instagram at Waves Capital if you want to talk on there. I post fairly frequently on there too. The content's pretty similar, but pretty different too. So check that out if you're interested, if you have IG. And yeah, we'll close it off there, guys. Always remember, take action, make waves in this world. Until next time, peace. Later, Gators.